Alright guys, welcome back to the Brew Show. Today I am sowing a load of seeds. So I've got all my propagators out ready. I've been busy making my homemade ones because I've only got I've got 4 of these, one of them's in use. So I make these myself with old takeaway containers and eggshell cartons. You just whack them in. Stick some soil in there, stick a lid on. I made another video of it, you can have a look at that if you fancy it. But anyway, so what we are starting with today is we've got some lemongrass and some hot peppers, habanero orange in fact, and something that I thought sounded pretty cool, cucamelon, which is like a little cucumber looking thing but tastes like watermelon. So anyway, I just fancy this one, so well. But they're all perennial if you treat them right. So habanero, I tend to keep these inside on the windowsill, and they will actually last all year. And you know, year after year, if you look after them, just keep changing the soil out. But so far, all of my pepper plants have never been hot ones. I bought this, it was called a Caribbean hot mix, and so far out of 4 plants that I grew, you know, just 1 seed a year, none of them have been hot, so I've given up and I've just bought something that says hot habanero. So these 3 will go in this one. They need a heated propagator, so basically you need a mat which you can turn on and it will generate heat and underneath create heat in your propagator. And otherwise they are less likely. They're not entirely, you know, quite a few of those. Yeah, won't completely stop them from germinating, but you'll get better chance if there is heat. So let's do 8 lemongrass here. Sow it in. I won't use all the seeds, I always like to save some in case things go awry, you know, nothing germinates and I have to try again. Don't have to buy another pack of seeds, even if they are cheap. I think this one was like 99p. But so that's the lemongrass, just put it in. Quite a lot of seeds in there. This should make that nice lemongrass for curries and stuff. And this one also perennial. Put it in a pot and keep it inside over winter, and it might go a bit dormant in the colder months, but it will not die. And then when the spring comes along again, back outside. So that's what I'll do with that. Put it in some nice little pots, have some little fragrant lemongrass around. Let's have a look at this cucumber. This one, apparently, if you take the root out at the end, well, before the frost comes, then you can store it somewhere dry and like overwinter it. I don't actually want too many of these, so I'll just try 4 plugs. But yeah, you can keep these over winter, and then when spring comes along again, same as the lemongrass, you put it outside. With this, you just plant it back in the greenhouse. I think it likes it a bit warmer, this one, so back in the greenhouse, just plant the root and it should come back with the good weather, and you'll have a cucumber forever. Never actually tried them, but that's what the packet says, so we'll try it. And if not, save some seeds for next year, I can grow them again. This one's my hot peppers. I'll do a few of these outside in the greenhouse. To a plug. A few of these outside in the greenhouse because they like that nice sunny weather, nice heat. but also I'll stick a couple in pots on the windowsill and keep them as perennials. They'll just keep growing and growing. As long as they germinate, that is. I've had some trouble with peppers in the past, probably because I haven't heated them. But also tried using Scotch bonnet from the supermarket. That's never worked for me. But yeah, hopefully I have more luck with these. That is 1, 2, 3. Now next up, those will go in their own ones. Let's do a couple of pumpkins. Now my squash hasn't done too well, and I want some Halloween pumpkins. So try a few of these. Not as tasty as other squash, but you want the nice Halloween carved pumpkins. You'll grow big pumpkins for it. So let's break up this soil. Tell me what's going on. There we go. Just do 4 of them. Pumpkin always do well. Nice autumn veg. Make some pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie. There's better squashes, but you know, there's something impressive about having a big pumpkin in your garden. A nice big jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. Yeah, 4 of those. I'll save them for next year. Yeah, we've got 1 more slot. Now, some nasturtium here. These are good ones. They're attract lots of butterflies and stuff, and they will eat this over your other crops like your cabbage and stuff. So they're good. They're a good plant to confuse the pests. It doesn't kill them or anything, but they will eat this over the other one and save your crops. And also they're edible as well. They taste like a bit like watercress. So, and you can eat the flowers as well, edible flowers, put them on cakes and stuff. So I think overall, pretty cool plant to keep in the garden. So put these in a little press. So that is propagator number 1. We've got some little tags here, which will keep a record of all which seeds are which. Otherwise you get confused, you don't know what you've done. You just, you know, if you've never planted them before, you don't know what the seedlings are going to look like, because they all kind of look similar at first and then not, and you know. Right, so got nasturtium. I'm going to leave that one because I'm going to do some more in one of these. But do cucamelon. You go there. We got lemongrass. You can go there. Habanero. Pumpkin. And then that's that one. So that's propagator number 1. Complete. Already watered them, just put the lid on now and it will keep itself watered. Alright, now next propagator. So this one, I've got some lobelia because the wife likes them, and we've got some tree stumps. We're going to do some cascading, spilling flowers growing out of them. I've promised her over the years. So do half of this one with lobelia. These you just sprinkle onto the surface, not much to it. They like a little bit of heat as well, so I'll put it near my heat mat along with the other propagator. There we go. There's quite a few there. I'll save these ones for another time. Always just use half a pack, just in case. And chamomile we've got here for the other one. So I'm planning on having a nice herby chamomile lawn instead of just grass. I've got some other seeds as well. Yeah, I don't really like grass. I kind of find it pointless, you know. It just grows up, you have to mow it, that's it. Wow. And then, you know, you get weeds in it and stuff, you're like, ugh, there's weeds in your lawn. Chamomile. You have lovely big giant daisies instead of all that grass. And they'll smell nicer. You can use it for herbal teas, you know, chamomile, everybody knows this. So there you go, that's chamomile. Propagator number 2. Yeah, both of those surface sown seeds, so you just stick them on the top and they need light to germinate. So don't cover them, just leave them as they are. Next up we've got some crimson clover and some white yarrow. Again, these are for my lawn. So I like to have herbs and stuff. Yarrow's a good one. It's been used for centuries in like herbal remedies and stuff. Good for healing. You can make some teas out of that. Make some poultice. You know, you go out and you bash your knee. You know, kids are always doing. Oh gosh, that's a heavy patch there. Spread that one out. Yeah, you know how kids are. Run straight into the places you don't want them to go and trip over it. Get some yarrow, crunch it up, crush it, make a little poultice. Good for them. Yes, and then clover. And this one's really good for your soil because it fixes nitrogen from the air, so it will enrich your soil. You'll get those nice clovers that will cover your lawn. Well, if you like them, like I do. And there you go, got a lot there. You can actually sow these two straight outside after the frost has passed. But I wanted to get a bit ahead of it and do a few plugs, and then when it does come to the last frost date, I will sprinkle a load of these on the soil. I'm going to scrub up all the grass and make it patchy and horrible looking, and then these seeds will go in and they will take over from the grass, and you'll have a nice clover lawn. You know, those little red flowers, they're edible. You can make teas out of those, you can just eat them. Not too bad. A nice little bit of foraging in your own garden. So yeah, these like a surface sow as well, so give them a little press in, so yeah, good contact with the soil, but they want some light. So there we go. That is propagator number 3. Clover and yarrow. Labels. Silly me, let's go back. So, which one was which? Oh gosh, are we going to remember? That's lobelia. So, lobelia and chamomile. There you are, chamomile. Excuse me. Yarrow and clover. Lovely jubbly. Right, now another one for my herbal teas is passionflower. Not the one you normally buy in garden centres. It's the same type of plant, but this one's Passionflower incarnata is its Latin name. Basically, the ones you get from the garden centre, I think they are toxic, or slightly toxic, something like that, and they're not the ones you want for your sleepy tea remedies. It's this one. Costs a bit more, and as you can see, I've only got 6 seeds in this whole packet, so we'll use them all. Bit of a tricky one, this one, to germinate. You need to soak it for 2 days before you plant it, and then keep it somewhere nice and warm. So I have done that. I'll put it in one of my little homemade propagators because they've only got 6 cells, so they get 1 each. go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that one's a broken one as well, so I might even only have 5 seeds there. But yeah, you soak them for 2 days, and then you plant them out and treat them like the other seeds after that. Yeah, if you don't soak them, I think the seed husk is a bit tougher, so it needs the water to penetrate it a bit more thoroughly than it is with these other seeds. So there we go, just giving them a little press in. These are, as well as being lovely sleepy tea, herbal remedies, they're lovely climbing vines. They've got really cool looking flowers, like really big, and so that's it. Passionflower. Where is my tang? Right, we need that there. And these will grow perennial as well. I don't think they like frost too much, but like I'm going to keep one in the greenhouse, and hopefully that will protect it from most of the frost, and also you can put them, just pot them off for the winter and keep them inside where it's not going to be freezing, and then next year you can plant them back out again. I did have some before in my old house which I cut down, and miraculously they came back to life. Like a couple of years later, I just saw a vine growing, and it was passionflower. So I think they're more hardy than we're led to believe on the seed packets, but you know, better safe than sorry, because it's a good plant. It's a bit more expensive than the others. I mean, costs about the same, but you only got 6 in here, and you know, this one you got hundreds, thousands maybe. So anyway, next one is peppermint. This is not the normal mint you buy from the garden centre. That's usually like spearmint and apple mint. Like, they're not quite as strong as the peppermint. This is the one. I've searched for it for ages in the garden centres. I never seem to be able to find it. It's always spearmint, which again is a lovely mint, but this is peppermint, which is the best one for teas. And yeah, this one, again a perennial. There's a saying with mint, once you plant it, you've got it forever, because it will take over anything. So you've got to plant it in a nice little area where it's not going to, you know, be able to spread too much, because I think the roots go underground and pop up new plants, and then also the flowers come up and they'll sow their own seeds. So there's 2 ways basically that they spread. In my garden now I've got a type of mint called lemon balm. It's not mint, but it's lemony, not minty. Literally it's everywhere. Great for herbal teas. I actually really like it, so it's not a problem for me. But if you're not prepared for the onslaught of mint or its brothers, just be careful. Maybe just grow it in a pot, because the runners can't go anywhere, and if you keep it away from open ground, like you keep it on your patio or something, the seeds are less likely to take root as well. So that's my peppermint, lovely. That needs surface sow as well. Likes a bit of light, it likes a tiny bit of covering, so I'll press them down, but yeah. Surface sow, barely cover is what the instructions say. That's my peppermint. Hopefully I'll have some lovely spreading peppermint in the garden everywhere. I want it. Next up we've got some anise hyssop. This is another mint family, or close relative anyway. Looks minty, but has an anise taste and smell, and again it's good for teas. It won't take over quite like mint, I don't think, but it will self-seed quite readily. So wherever you put it, just be sure you want it to be there for a good amount of time. Otherwise, you know, you'll have problems. You'll be digging it up every year. from where it's seeded from the previous year. A bit bigger seeds these than the mint. Not getting too much smell from them. Sometimes you get the smell in the seeds. Like the thyme is very, very thymy. Yeah, I'll save those for another day too. Press them in again, same as the peppermint, barely cover, so just give them a little move around, and then put this label on, actually hyssop. So what have we got left? We've got calendula. So this one, nothing too fancy about this. Nice flowers, you can use them in herbal teas and infusions, etc. And there they give a nice yellow colour to things as well. A bit like saffron, but not the same flavour. They look like little worms, these seeds, that's cool. Press them in. Nothing fancy with these seeds, just sow them in the propagator. Cover them up, you know, give them a little press in. There's a lot of seeds in here as well, so these ones I'll sow throughout the year. After the frost is gone, just stick them in the ground, I think, where I want them. Just see what happens. I want some nice showy flowers that we can eat and use in my herbal remedies, my little brews. Don't just make beer, you know, make tea as well. So there we go, that's calendula. Nice flowers. Close you up, lid on. Little tagging. One thing with these propagators is once the seedlings do sprout, you want to get them open as quick as possible because you know, these ones, they've got headroom in where your plant can grow up to like this much, but these ones, they'll end up squishing themselves and you don't really want that. So as soon as you see some seedlings, you know, give them a day or two and then take the lid off. Just make sure you keep them watered and they'll do just as well as these ones. Right, now last seed is my Indian ginseng. Apparently this gives you the strength of a stallion. Takes a few years to grow, but apparently it grows like same conditions as tomatoes, so I'll chuck these in the greenhouse with my tomato plants and we'll see what happens. But yeah, these ones need cold stratification, so what you need to do is you sow them first into your propagator. I'm going to do 2 in each cell because these are quite pricey for seeds and I don't want to mess it up. Go on, get in! There we go. So yeah, this one's nicely came with some instructions. So you sow on the surface onto moist, well-drained seed compost, like this. Just cover it with soil, so give it a little push in, not too much. There we go. And then you need to keep it somewhere about 18 to 22 degrees for 2 to 4 weeks, which is normal for these to germinate. But then you have to put it in the fridge or somewhere cold at -4 to 4 Celsius for 4 to 6 weeks. And that's the cold stratification process. So basically, in the wild, these seeds, they'll, like the plant will fruit and the seeds will go into the ground, whatever, and they'll just sit there over winter. The cold will come, and that will awaken something in the seed, and then after this period of cold, so usually seasons, winter or spring will come, and the seed will then germinate. So to get over the seasonal aspect of this, you stick it in the fridge, usually about 1 or 2 degrees in there, a few weeks, 4 to 6 in this case, and then after that period of cold, you just take it back out and treat it like any other seed. And it's already sown, obviously, so you just basically put it out, put it somewhere sunny. Ooh, got my tag. Put it somewhere sunny, and hopefully your cold stratification has worked, and they will. Well, kidding. Yeah, hopefully it's worked, and they will germinate. And if not, after a couple of weeks of it being on your windowsill, whatever sunny place you've got it, you put it back in the fridge and just keep repeating the process until they germinate. That's kind of, a lot of things need that. I think cherry seeds need that. I've tried that before and they never worked yet. I'm going to end up just buying a cherry tree, I think. But yeah, long-winded process, but hopefully that works for them. I'll get some of this stallion root, for my male vigour potions. And yeah, apparently it's good stuff. A bit stinky, the root, but all medicine tastes nice, does it? So we've got some more nasturtiums here. I only did a few in there, so let's plant a few in this one, my leftover tray. And then, pink ball boom. You can also plant these outside after the frost and they will germinate quite happily. But again, I want a head start, so I'm doing some, doing some inside. And yeah, I've got quite a few here. These aren't perennials, they will die every year, but they are a very nice plant and I like eating them. And I like the butterflies they bring, which brings other predators to eat the butterflies, which helps your garden ecosystem. So we want a healthy garden with no pesticides. Get some nasturtiums. I don't even know how you say it, but get them. They're good. Right, that's it. That's my seed propagating. They're all there. I'm going to put some. This one needs a heated mat. The rest of them just a nice warm windowsill, nothing too special, apart from the one that needs to be cold stratificated. Hopefully we'll have some seedlings in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Hey DJ, give me a beat. It's the Lion Brew Show. I cook too. Do some gardening and foraging stuff. Terrible raps. Like, subscribe, and all that crap.